All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Maurice Washington. I wanted to welcome everybody to our Costa Rica event. We are excited to have you here. I'm your moderator. So if anybody comes in, we're going to put you on mute at the end of this conversation. I'll give you guys an opportunity to ask questions or anything that you need. If you have any issues or any challenges, please use the chat function and I will help facilitate the conversation to ensure that, again, your questions are answered and we can get you all connected. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and turn you over to Rob Hale. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, and good evening, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. I am Rob Hale. I am the founder and COO of Travel and Relax, and I'm honored to be here tonight working with our CEO and tonight's moderator, Maurice Washington, as well as my wife, Lisa, who serves as our Director of Celebrations, and an amazing behind-the-scenes staff of Max Ratkai and James Bamadi, who help us in our ongoing efforts to always provide top-level service to our guests. A little bit about Travel and Relax. We were founded 16 years ago on August 1st, 2004, with the mission to unify the world one traveler at a time. And while that mission certainly remains today, 2020 and the COVID-19 challenges that it has brought upon us has dramatically changed how people travel in today's world. In the last several months, travel has morphed to involve a lot more moving parts to consider when planning your trip. Some examples of these include mask requirements in airlines, airports, and hotels, temperature checks at different travel facilities, and constantly changing COVID-19 border restrictions and requirements, both internationally and domestically. Because of this, the need for a true travel professional to help guide you as you plan and set up your trip, and a solid destination expert who can support you once you've arrived is needed now more than ever. As Travel and Relax considered how we could help you escape the stresses of today's world, we felt that offering you virtual tours around the world to some of the world's great destinations would provide you a great escape from today's stresses, all from the comfort of your own environment. These tours are being held bi-monthly and allow you to dream of future travel experiences that you might enjoy. Today, we are very pleased to offer you our third tour to Costa Rica, which will be presented to you by our special guests, Leo and Allie, with our preferred supplier, Outstanding Tours in Costa Rica. We have experienced their tours firsthand, and I confess that they are indeed truly outstanding. Before they begin, while we do want to hear from you, to prevent the distractions of background noise, all attendees will be muted. There will be a question and answer period at the end, and if you have questions, please enter it in the chat box or raise your hand in the participants box, and our moderator will make sure that your question gets asked. And now, I'm very excited and pleased to introduce to you Leo and Allie.
Hello.
Hola. Hi. Hola.
Thank you so much, Rob, and to the whole Travel and Relax team for hosting this event tonight and for giving us the opportunity to get back in the guide seat. We are tour guides at heart from Costa Rica, so we're very excited and for this tour this evening to take you along with us. Thank you everyone who has taken the time to join us tonight and is hoping to get a little bit of escape from reality. We sure hope that we can provide that for you. As Rob mentioned, we are Travel and Relax's local partners here in Costa Rica, and we will be able to serve you guys, all the Travel and Relax passengers, travelers, when you're coming down to Costa Rica personally with Travel and Relax and their partners. I'm Allie. I'm originally from Canada. I've been down in this part of the world for about the past 10 years now. And I met my husband.
Hi, good evening. How you doing, guys? I'm Leo. Born and raised in Costa Rica, 35 years old. I'm married to this beautiful Canadian, and now we are enjoying this beautiful country. Like Ali and Rob said, today, guys, is going to be escape for everything that's happening around us. So I hope you guys like this virtual tour. We're going to try to show you everything about Costa Rica. So I hope you guys really like and enjoy. And I think we're going to start right now. Go ahead.
Vámonos.
Vámonos. Guys, well, I'm gonna give you a a little bit about geography. Where is Costa Rica? Where we are located? Costa Rica is in Central America. We're in the middle of North America and South America. We're the bridge to connect this beautiful two pieces of land, and we make this beautiful continent, which we call America. To be a little bit more honest, we're more specific. We're about 10 north degrees from the equator.
10 degrees north.
Thank you. I'm gonna give you more details when you are here in Costa Rica, but to give you an idea, that's where we are located. That means that we're in the tropics. What does that mean? That means that we have, good weather. We have in Costa Rica, we have 2 seasons. We have rainy season and dry season. Also, it's gonna give us a good time zone. In Costa Rica, the time zone never changes. So the sunset and the sunrise, they're gonna be almost at the same time every year long. So it's hard to miss a sunset because you know what time it's gonna be.
Another important fact about where we are located is our proximity to North America. So from most places in Canada and the US and from the center over to the east, we're about only a 3 to 5 hour direct flight from most major airports. From the west, a little bit longer, but to give you an idea, from Denver, so we're only going to be about 5 or 6 hours flight to Costa Rica. Nice and close for you guys for your next trip down. So we want to give you a little bit of general interesting facts about Costa Rica so you have an idea of the place that you're going to be visiting next.
Costa Rica, guys, it's a really small country. In kilometers, we are about 52,000 square kilometers. I know you guys work with miles, and miles is about 32,000 square miles. To give you a better idea, Costa Rica has the shape of
the size of around Lake Michigan or the state of West Virginia. If there's anybody from the north joining us about the province of Alberta, to give you an idea, it's quite a small country.
If you guys are from Europe, we'll have the same size of Denmark, just to give you an idea. Guys, who are our neighbors? And in the north, guys, in the top of the picture on the left-hand side, we got Nicaragua. Nicaragua is a neighbor on the north, and on the south, we got Panama. Like you can see, we're surrounded also by water. And the bottom left, we got the Pacific Ocean, and the top right, we got the Caribbean Ocean, the Caribbean Sea. Our Pacific Ocean or Pacific line is about 1,600 kilometers, and 1,016 kilometers. So we got a plenty place to go for a swim. But in the Caribbean, we have only 2,012.
Only.
Only.
Of coastline. Also, something really interesting about Costa Rica is if you can see the image here on the right-hand side, you can notice perhaps this small island here is Cocos Island. It was actually what was our starting photo, was Cocos Island.
Yeah.
And that's a considerable ways away from Costa Rica, but it is Costa Rican territory. We're going to talk about how special it is in just a little bit. But the cool thing about this island is it actually gives Costa Rica 10 times more national waters than it does territory. So we're much bigger in the sea than we are by land. And that also that bit of sea in between Cocos Island and Costa Rica is just full of fantastic things to see, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Some other things that you might want to know about Costa Rica with our size. You're wondering how many people are in the country, perhaps. We're very small in regards to number of people as well. We've got about 5 million people living in Costa Rica, and about half that population is living right in the capital, in the center of the country, in San Jose.
We are united by 7 provinces. Costa Rica is united by 7 provinces. The main province will be San Jose. That's where you're gonna find mostly everything. And like Ali just mentioned, that's where the 50% of the population live. The other 50% will live all around the country, mostly in the countryside. Then good thing about, if you can see on the map, guys, if you are in the middle of the country, it's pretty easy to go to the beach. It's only 2.5 hours at maximum. But if you're in San Jose, you're gonna go to the coast, it's gonna take you 1 hour, 15 minutes by car. So that's one of the good things to be small. You guys can go from the Pacific to the Atlantic in 1 day. It's gonna be a long day, but you can make it.
At least in the same trip, what's really cool is you can come to Costa Rica, spend 7, 10, 14 days, and you can dip your toes in 2 oceans on the same trip. So that's kind of really cool. All right. Now we really want to tell you about this amazing phrase, Pura Vida. It's very important for you to know about Pura Vida before you come to Costa Rica. Pura Vida means pure life. That's the direct translation. And that's exactly what it is. Pure life, happiness, health, stress-free.
No worries.
No worries. It's based on the ideology to enjoy the small things in life and try to do it as stress-free, as relaxed as possible. So that's what you're hopefully going to be feeling when you come down to Costa Rica.
Even if you have a little inconvenience, just put it in the back of your mind and just put a big smile on your face and keep going with your life. Go to the beach, have a brewski, and yeah, we're gonna figure it out later. But for the moment, enjoy life. Pura vida.
It's the simple things. Here, we might have a stressful day at work, but at least what we're gonna do on the weekend, we're gonna take a cooler, we're gonna go sit in the river, which just happens to be surrounded by rainforest, have a little charcoal barbecue, tortillas, meat, a beer. Simple, pura vida. Pura vida.
And also, a lot of people say that we live here, guys. We have the island time. Like, we take our time. Like, we really enjoy time. We really enjoy life.
But don't worry, in tourist business, we're on Swiss time. Don't worry.
Exception of the rule.
So what we also want to tell you is Pura Vida. It's not just all fun and games. We are actually one of the happiest countries in the world. We're the 15th happiest country in the world. San Jose is the 11th happiest city in the world, and that's where half the population lives. So what we're trying to tell you here is our Pura Vida lifestyle, as much as it makes us the happiest people, we'll be sitting in the river in paradise. We want to let you know why we're so Pura Vida here. What's the background? What allows people here to be so happy?
It's not just like go ahead and drink rum and watch a football game. Of course, they do it too, right? But it's more than that. So guys, the idea is today we're gonna show you why we live like, well, why we consider one of the happiest countries, why we live so good, why we have a smile all day long. Now we're gonna show you why.
In the happiness, you have to know, in the Happy Index survey, some of the factors that are involved is the stability of the country, the security. Do you feel safe? Can you get medical attention when you need it? Do you feel like your government is stable enough? Do you feel good and happy? Do you feel like you're connecting to, do you have community? And do you have good work-life balance? All these things are factors in the Happy Index survey. So we're gonna take you for a short little history lesson so that you can really get a good idea of how Costa Rica became to be so happy.
And invite you to come down here and join this happiness with us and take something with you back.
This is exactly, when you go back home, the idea is you take Pura
Pura
Vida
vida
with you. All right, so this is a really big reason for us that we think that Costa Rica is such a happy country. People are fascinated to learn this when they get here. Costa Rica is one of the few countries in the entire world that does not have a military, no army.
No, this happened, this is what we call the war, the 48 war, La Guerra del 48. Like you can see in the top left, say it's no army since 1948. That was because the gentleman on the bubble, he's Jose Figueres, we call Pepe. Pepe is like slang for Jose. He noticed that there was something bad in the popular election for the government. He started seeing that some people started stealing the papers, so little things like that. So he didn't like it. So he's like, guys, we need to fight for democracy. So we need to go. We're gonna start a revolution, and he did. One of the good things that happened after this revolution is the founding of the Second Republic, and the most important thing, he said, no more army. He sit down in a table and he start looking at each other and he's like, guys, what are we doing? We're smart people. You went to college, you went to university, I went to university. In this country, no more war, would talk. So that's why we are really proud. I'm the second generation to never carrying a gun to defend my country or having the idea to have a gun, and never in my life, either my dad or my grandpa either, but he was alive back in the day, but that's why. The other picture which is really interesting here is the gentleman on the left hand side. He's like holding a book. He is Mr. Oscar Arias. Oscar Arias, he was our president from 1985 until 1990. Back in the 80s, there was a conflict in Central America of 5 countries. 4, they were in civil war. And this gentleman, he started making some meetings in Guatemala and Costa Rica, and he brought the peace to the whole region. So in 1991, he won the World Peace Prize.
The Nobel Peace Prize.
So guys, the idea to tell you this history, I know it's a little bit boring, but I want to tell you how is our mentality? How is the Costa Rican mentality? We are 100% peaceful people. So that's why we're. When you're gonna come down here, you're gonna feel this like the Pura Vida. Like, Tranquilidad. No, there is not gonna be military anywhere. You can drive anywhere that you want. Nobody gonna stop you for any reason.
No military checks.
No military, nothing.
So another very important factor that is part of the heart of our country, of the happiness. One, no military. When the military was abolished, a lot of people say, what happened to all that money? Well, it went into education. Among other places as well, that's how we got our universal healthcare system. We have state-of-the-art healthcare here in Costa Rica, so you're going to be well taken care of when you get here. And also our education system is recognized worldwide. School is free and mandatory for all Costa Ricans. And in 1844, that's when that law was made, including for women, that was the law, right to education. And sorry, that was 1869 is when it became free and mandatory. 1844 is when the woman was also allowed to be educated. So it's a long history here that we've had in good education. The universities, our post-secondary education is also free, no longer mandatory, but still free. If you can't afford to go for your accommodation or for your books, you also can get a scholarship for all of those things. So education is very, very accessible here in Costa Rica. And the universities are top class. We have one of the top universities in all of Latin America, and our University of Costa Rica is #1 in Central America.
Guys, another thing that makes us good in education is we got one in Intel. You know, Intel, the guy to make microchips for the computers. He got a big factory here. I don't know if you guys know it, but when Intel moved to another country, they make a study around 20 years before they move. And they make a studies about 20 years after they move, because they don't want to go to any country that they might get the money still or the company still. So it
gives you it gives you a really good idea of how stable this economy is. It's a good thumbs up from Intel to be coming here.
Amazon, HP, and we can start going and going, but we need to continue. Guys, there is a gentleman, there is wearing an astronaut suit, orange suit. He is Franklin Chang. Guys, he is the best example of this education program works. Why? Because Franklin Chan, he was from the hood, from the neighborhood. And he made it all the way to NASA. Actually, Franklin Chan, he was on 7 missions in space. He walked for about 1,600 hours, air walk. And he has an air walk for about 16 hours in space. The other guy next to the left is holding a snake. He is Mr. Clodomiro Picado. He is the guy to invent the
anti-venom for snake bites, which is quite important.
So if you guys are worried about snake, don't worry. We got you covered.
It's everywhere because it was invented here. All right. So now we have...
Oh, 1 second. Guys, the top left, it looks like a nice house. That's our dining room, guys. Costa Rica has a system for the kids. Through those little dining rooms, they are located in area school. That's how we provide food to the kids. The dining room at the school have to be open 365 years of the day. Even if it's Christmas or New Year, have to be open. Why? Because the only way those kids receive meal is through the dining room.
In some places, if that's what Leo means to say is if the child is, if that is their only meal, sometimes that might be the case, then that cafeteria is going to be remaining open every day of the year so that child won't go without food. So what is really interesting that's been happening since COVID-19, our schools as well have closed for present learning. Everything is online at the moment. But every month, there are still deliveries to each and every school with a portion amount of food for each student gets delivered to the family, so that that food is still going out to those kids. We think that that's a really amazing part of the education system here. And when we're doing guided tours and we tell people about that, they really love that fact about Costa Rica. So we thought we'd share it with you as well. Now that we've talked a little bit about the background, the stem as to why this country is full of the kinds of people that it has, we want to start to talk about a little bit about the special places around the country. So here we have a few things up on the screen. We have on the left-hand side, on this very top corner, this is the town, well, the town, it's an ancient ruins, actually. We have ancient ruins as well in Costa Rica. So for anybody who's interested in ancient civilizations and history and architecture and mysteries, you can find all that here as well in Costa Rica.
Guys, we got Guayabo. What Ali is telling you about is Guayabo is the top left picture. Guayabo was a town. They were founded in 700 years before Christ, and they were there until 1,400 years after Christ. Nobody know why they abandoned the site, the place. Well, the most important thing is they left an aqueduct.
An aqueduct,
and it is still right now still working. So that place, they won an award from the AC, which is the American Association of Engineer.
American Association of Civil Engineers.
They won an award in 2009 because of the building of this aqueduct. It's still running today, and nobody knows what they left. So it's a mystery. Nobody know why. All they had, they make beautiful roads, perfect road by stone. They still intact, better than any highways in Costa Rica. We should hire them. Guys, the bottom right, we're gonna find a Cocos Island. That's the main picture we show you at the beginning. Cocos Island. They also was named by Jacques Cousteau, like the most beautiful island in the world. That little island is the number 7 spot for divers
in the world.
Named by National Geographic. Also, this island is named by also was noticed as a treasure island back in the
1600s, when the Spanish explorers were coming over to the New World, and they were taking all the gold back to go to the British Museum or wherever it went. On the way, some pirates came, people were stealing from boat to boat. So where they would hide the treasure, we know that there was a lot of hidden treasure in the Caribbean islands, but it's said that in this island as well, in Cocos Island, there should be a lot of hidden treasure as well. So there's another mystery there and an interesting piece of history as well.
Jacques Cousteau was the only one to tell them, guys, to stop looking. The treasure is this. Enjoy it. Go have a swim.
So a couple more things here. At the very top middle, you're going to see these spheres. These are perfectly shaped spheres that are also from pre-Columbian times, so dating back before the 1500s, left here from the pre-Columbian indigenous tribes. And the interesting thing is, it's another mystery. Nobody is quite sure what was the purpose of these spheres, why they were built, how they were built.
So
there's a lot of theories. There's been a lot of studies done. There's some theories about the placement of the spheres and the way the light hits it. Is it to do with astronomy? Or you'll have to find out when you get here and when you come and visit. All right, another very important area. I love this piece of Costa Rica, this part of Costa Rica.
Everybody does.
Everybody does. Are the blue zones. You might have heard about the blue zones, especially if you're into what we're calling wellness travel these days. This is a great spot for you. You can notice on the right-hand side, this map here, we have a little piece of Costa Rica that's orange. That is the Nicoya Peninsula, and that is considered one of the world's 5 blue zones. So what are blue zones? Just in case you're not sure, that's what we're here for. And they're geographical areas. Like I mentioned, there's 5 of them in the world. And these are places where there are high concentrations, high populations of the senior population, of people living 75 years and older, 90 years and older. And even here in Costa Rica, we have a lot of people who are 115 to 120 years old. And they look a little bit something like these lovely seniors you see in the photos. They're fit, their wits are about them. They're still enjoying life. They're dancing, they're salsaing, they're still working in the field. What I'm trying to tell you is they're living long and they're enjoying the whole ride of life.
Guys, to give you an idea, in this area, we have about around 45 people that are over 110 years old. We got 900 people that are over 90 years old. And we got 5,000 people that are over 75 years old. And these people, they've been checked, medical check, and they're 100%, like they were 15 years old. So that's means that we're gonna have blue zone for a long, long time. Guys, in every blue zone, they have its own thing that they say like, okay, this is what will make me live longer. In this case, in Costa Rica, they say that as well, first they grow their own food. So they have to go and work hard. Even if they work hard under the sun, they still have enough time in the afternoon to have fun, to bring the family. The grandkids, they always show up to grandpa's house. They're always gonna have a dinner together. They always spend a lot of time together. So they say they get a lot of community, right?
Community.
And that's one of the reasons to make it feel to make it live longer.
Strong family values and community.
In community. This guy, the gentleman with the hat, is Don Rogelio. Don Rogelio is really famous because he is still, he's about 105 years old, and he's still jumping to his horse every day to pick it up el ganado, when there's a bunch of cows.
When he's going to gather the cattle. And
yeah.
You guys, some of you know better those terms than we in English. So these are the blue zones, really, really fascinating area of Costa Rica. If you're interested in learning about the secrets to longevity and to rejuvenation, then these are places that you need to visit. So as Leo had mentioned about the blue zone, one of the factors is the diet of the people. As much as we have one small area of Costa Rica that's the blue zone, our whole country has very similar factors.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest things I think about Costa Rica is the rich, rich, beautiful soil. We have lots of volcanoes. We have beautiful volcanic soil. If you throw a seed here, something will grow. So it's really amazing. They say nobody is ever going to go hungry in Costa Rica. For everybody who loves fresh tropical fruits, this is really the place for you. We say when you get here and you try the pineapple, although you might have had it elsewhere, it has this thing here, flavor. It's called flavor. It has so much flavor here. And we also happen to be one of the world's, well, at the moment, we're the largest exporter of pineapple in the world. And one of our top exports as well is bananas. Also sugarcane. So we have a little bit of rum. If you're into some rum, we have some good ones here as well. And of course, last but not least, we have many other beautiful fruits and vegetables here. The cool thing is a lot of them are available all year round. We have some special ones that are only at a certain time of year, but you can find delicious produce all year round.
All year long.
And before I finish on the produce, what I really wanted to mention last but not least is the coffee. We have world-class coffee in Costa Rica.
Guys, the coffee in Costa Rica, well, it's been a tradition since the 1820s. Costa Rica was, we were the first country in export coffee to Europe and opened the coffee business as a business. Now, Costa Rica is a small country compared to our neighbors. We cannot compete with them. I'm talking about Brazil and Colombia. So what we do, we Costa Rica focus is quality. Guys, what we do is we go ahead and we take care of the plants, and there's a little seed until the plant grows up, because what most important for us, for Costa Rican people and for the Costa Rican farmers, is the quality. Why quality? Because we can sell the coffee in a better price. We can sell the coffee in a better markets, and we can drink a better coffee. Guys, to give you an idea, how our coffee is so good. Why it's so good? Because our coffee is being used in all the tournaments all around the world. When the baristas, baristas are like the bartenders for the coffee. When they have an international tournament, they come down here straight to the farm and they buy the coffee directly to the farmer, because they need to be sure they're gonna bring a really good coffee and have the excellent taste. To give you an idea, there is coffee shops in the United States that there is a green sign with a green girl with a crown. You know what I'm talking about?
It rhymes with Starbucks.
Just in case, a regular cup of coffee from Colombia costs about $2. Costa Rican coffee, geisha, costs about $8 in that store. You don't believe me? Go and check it out. Come to Costa Rica.
Come to Costa Rica and check it out.
Talk to Travel and Relax.
It will be a little bit cheaper here as well, and you'll find it at Starbucks there. And here,
and fresh.
And here, when you're enjoying your coffee as well, and if you're interested in coffee, like Leo mentioned, Costa Rica is the one who kicked off the business, the market of coffee between Europe and the Americas. So there's a really interesting history there. When you come down, you can take a coffee tour, visit a farm, learn the whole history, how it really helped to develop Costa Rica, and of course, the process of coffee, and at the end, try it.
Because the coffee in Costa Rica, we call the golden grain, because the coffee brought us everything. Help us with education, health department, everything.
So from our agriculture, from land, brings us to one of my favorite things to talk about. Is the gastronomy of Costa Rica. Here, like I mentioned before, we're gonna have fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables all year round. So that's something that people really love about Costa Rica. The idea of farm to table, for example, that was already happening in Costa Rica before this term was ever coined. That's just natural for us. Actually, as COVID came in and it's the COVID tornado ripped through tourism here in Costa Rica, what was also affected greatly was the agriculture. Why? Because the farmers were bringing their produce directly to the hotel for breakfast, directly to the restaurant. So there's a direct line. It really is farm to table.
Even the mom and pops, like a little restaurant we call sodas in Costa Rica, just a little tiny restaurant. You can see the big guy with the pickup bringing like the lettuce, the tomato, like straight from the farm to the table, to our table, right?
So the diet here, and just to let you know, the staple diet you can see in the photo, on the very last row, second in, we have a casado. Here we go. The mouse should be over it now. This is a casado. Casado, if you know Spanish, means to be married. Who's married in this case is the rice and the beans. We'll tell you a better story about the casado once you get down to Costa Rica. But what's important to know is this is a typical dish. This is lunch, this is dinner, this is kind of the farmer's lunch and dinner. You got your rice, your beans, lots of fresh veggies, a green salad, some sauteed veggies, and then the typical way to eat is a small piece of protein as well. What you're gonna find, and
big. I want big.
What you're gonna find, typical, what you're gonna find all around the country is lots of beautiful, of course, fresh fish and seafood. And even if you're up in the mountains, for example, you're still not that far from the coast. My favorite fish tacos in Costa Rica is in a mountain town, just so happens. Also, other proteins that you might find here. Everybody raves about the pork here, and we have an area that is famous for cattle, for beef. And if you really hated everything I just said because you're plant-based, vegan, vegetarian, this is also a paradise for you as well. We just take that little piece of meat off the plate and it's still a delicious, balanced, plant-based meal. So there's something for everybody, and I really think that you'll be happy when you get here. I certainly am throughout all the years. I love to eat typical, fresh, really organic food in Costa Rica. So now you know a little bit about our land. We want to tell you what else we're producing here in Costa Rica, something that we're very, very, very proud of in our efforts.
Guys, this is something that Costa Rica is really proud. I want to tell you why, guys. Costa Rica have a world record. We run our country for about 332 days without
on completely 100% renewable energy. That was grown, produced, developed in Costa Rica. So we didn't have to purchase it or bring it in from anywhere else. Costa Rica developed its own energy. How do we do that? How does the country do that? We're completely equipped with the best geography to be able to do this. We are so lucky. Imagine the geography of Costa Rica. You have your volcanoes, right? We're gonna have our geothermal energy coming off the volcano. You have a couple of volcanoes around Costa Rica. You're gonna have wind coming off the volcano from one to the other. We also have our turbines for wind energy. Of course, you're gonna have the beautiful sun shining down all over the place. That's our solar. And when the rain runs down off the volcano, off the mountain ranges, it's gonna develop. We have 9 huge river systems here in Costa Rica. So that's gonna produce a lot of our hydroelectric energy.
So guys, when you come down here, no worries. We cover. No, there is not gonna be problem with energy.
And you're gonna have power. You're gonna have beautiful food. It's important to also to mention that we have clean drinking water in the whole country, right from the tap. So you don't have to worry about the revenge of Montezuma.
She's still alive.
And we also, with our energy, we also have great internet, of course. So you don't have to worry about any of those things when you're coming down to Costa Rica. You'll have those comforts.
Guys, I'm sorry. And also, covers 99% of the territory. So if you need internet or if you need power, you're gonna be fine, and mostly 99% of the territory.
99%. And if you don't want to be connected, we can send you to that 1% area. Yeah. No problem. Travel and Relax will let us know, and we'll hook you up. All right. So now you know about the land, about a little bit about the history. Now let's talk about a little bit about what you can do and see while you're here. Our land produces so much stuff for people who live in Costa Rica. Now we want to show you how you're going to be able to use all the great features of Costa Rica.
Guys, Costa Rica is a formation of volcanoes. Like you can see, we got like a system range in the middle of the country. It's formed by volcanoes. Costa Rica is formed around for 230 volcanoes, but about those 230, they are dormant or they are almost extinct. So they're gonna look like beautiful mountains, but there is just gonna be just beautiful mountains. Of those 200, we got the big 5. All those big 5 are active, like you can see. Only Arenal is a little bit dormant, but for us, it's not dormant. It's just like
she's not extinct yet. She's still awake, but not as active as she used to be.
Guys, this is the picture of the big 5s. The one on the top left is Rincón de la Vieja. The Rincón de la Vieja is an active volcano. He's erupting every day. One of the good things about Rincón de la Vieja is give us about the 80% of geothermal power. We get it from Rincón de la Vieja. The other 2 pictures, they are on the top. That's Irazú, and the other one, Poás. Those 2 volcanoes are in the Central Valley, so they are about an hour from San Jose by car. So if you just landed in San Jose and you want to go and see a volcano right away, just an hour by car, including traffic. So no worries.
All the way to the top. For the non-hikers, you can get to the crater by vehicle. Once you get to the top, all the hiking, the hard work is really just around the crater. That's it.
And it's accessible for everybody. It's a trail. There is we call the universal trail, 100% accessible. So if you have any
special needs, those needs can be met here, no problem.
Travel and Relax, have you covered. Guys, the other volcano that we have on the bottom is Rincón de la Vieja, Turrialba and Arenal. Those are, Arenal is in the rainforest. This is the one that is a little dorm. But the good thing about this guy is gonna give us a lot to enjoy.
Yes, the Arenal volcano we want to use for you as an example, so you can imagine yourselves escaping your reality, coming down to Costa Rica and visiting one of these beautiful volcanoes. On the picture on the far right-hand side of the screen, this is to give you a great idea that no matter where you are in the town of La Fortuna, you're gonna have this majestic beast behind you, always in all your scenery shots. You wake up in the morning, come out the balcony with your coffee, and there she is right in front of you. And so that's something really, really cool about visiting a volcano. What else do you get? I know that you can see the pictures. Some of you, I hope, are getting excited already.
Yeah.
Of course, we're getting hot springs, naturally fed hot springs from the volcano. There are so many different properties around this town and others around different volcanoes. I'm just using this to inspire you to visit one of these volcanoes. But you're gonna find these hot springs and many different properties around the town. Some of the hotels are gonna have your own private hot springs for the honeymooners, for the romantic couples. And for the adventure travelers, we're going to talk about in a second all the adrenaline pumping activities that you can do. After an adrenaline pumping activity, what do you want to do? Relax in the hot springs. Also for the families out there where there's a hot pool, there's a cold pool with a slide usually. So something for the kids to enjoy as well. Well, maybe mom and dad are over in the little pool. You guys can enjoy everything here in Costa Rica very, very easily. And the great thing about Travel and Relax and us as well, we want to mention is we all believe in custom travel. So as we go through showing you the greatest things of Costa Rica and you're wondering what to do, don't worry, no worries. Travel and Relax will be able to customize your whole itinerary for you. So just sit back, enjoy, get inspired.
Write down where you want to be. Write it down.
So something else that's really great that we get from our volcanoes as well. I mentioned the water trickling down into the river. Well, sometimes it's falling down through a beautiful waterfall. You can see on the left-hand side that beautiful turquoise color. That's real, that is not a filter. And that is a chemical reaction from the minerals in the water. Sometimes one river at a certain temperature is meeting another river at another temperature, and that's what's causing this chemical reaction in the water. It's really, really gorgeous. You can find that type of water all over Costa Rica at the waterfalls. You can enjoy it just swimming, just looking, just Instagramming. And for the adventurers, you can also be waterfall jumping, rappelling, canyoneering, abseiling. So there's something here for everybody. Another activity that we cannot surpass talking about in Costa Rica is the whitewater rafting. Okay, there's something here for everyone as well. We've got, I mentioned, many, many rivers in Costa Rica, different classes, class 1 through 5. So for beginners, for experts, you can find everything here, something for the whole family.
We got for the wild ones, for the ones that want to just hang out.
Safari floats for
the
floaters, and the whitewater rapids for the more adrenaline junkies, we'll say. So now we've been through some of the more adrenaline pumping activities, some of the beautiful picturesque places. We cannot forget to mention a really big factor in Costa Rica. Some of our biggest tourism here is for the nature lovers. We have an abundance of flora and fauna. And of course, you're going to want to visit our national parks and protected areas.
Guys, Costa Rica has a system. We have about 32 national parks, and then we have about 30 protected areas. There are different, like between conserved areas and protected areas. But the main attractions are the national parks. There are 33. One of the good things about have many protected areas is like if you can drive from one point to the other one, you might pass one. You might drive through one. So you just easy stop, have a nice walk, and then just keep going where your trip. Costa Rica is well known as a green destination. We definitely we conserve and we preserve.
We're protecting the forests here. We have so many national parks, but also it's important for you to know that we have over 25% of the territory, the land is protected. That's why we have these national parks. We also carry a large percentage of the biodiversity in the world, and that's very important to protect. And you can see on the screen here, also worth mentioning here, this is one of our national parks on the right-hand side. This is in the Central Pacific area. It's right in between two different types of forests. It's a transitional forest, lots of things to see in there. And they have what we call a universal trail. That means it's accessible to everybody. You can go in there in a wheelchair, with walking sticks, whatever you need to get through there, it's going to fit on the trail. So everybody is welcome. It's accessible for everybody here.
Take you and bring you back, right? This works for everybody.
So we mentioned a little bit about having a lot of the world's biodiversity. This is a really important park to talk about quickly.
Guys, Costa Rica is we own about 4.5% of the whole biodiversity in the world. And there is only one national park that has 2.5% of the whole biodiversity in the world. And this place is Corcovado National Park. Like you can see in the National Geographic cover photo, the National Geographic named it the most intense
biologically intense place on Earth.
On Earth, even more than Galapagos. So guys, if you guys looking for a wild place with no connection on the internet, it's gonna be Corcovado National Place. Guys, if you're looking, this is the chance that you might see it. We can see a wildcat. This is the place that you're gonna, if you're looking for a real wildlife, we got it right here.
And we also have many other national parks, just quickly to mention a few of them, just to show you the diversity we also have in the parks, in the land. The landscape is going to be different everywhere where you go, from the north to the south, from the east to the west. You're going to find national parks that are on the coast. So after hiking during the day and seeing your wildlife, you can be relaxing on the beach. And here in the middle, this is Tortuguero National Park, and there's actually no roads in there. And you can only get there by boat or by plane. And the thing to do in there is to visit all the canals. So you're going to be visiting that national park usually by boat. So there's lots of different places to see. And in Costa Rica, we have 6 different types of forests. So that means different types of animal, different types of vegetation when you're visiting different parks. If you think one is enough, then maybe you're not the nature lover. But if you're the nature lover, you're going to want to visit many, many different national parks in Costa Rica.
And because of the geography, guys, the mountains they make us have microclimates. So if you're in the top of the mountain, you might be in a cloud forest. But if that's cold for you, you want to drive down to the mountain, you're gonna get to the dry forest, which is amazing forest that's gonna be a little bit warm. And then you keep going, you're gonna find a rainforest. It's amazing.
So these are some of the species that you might be able to see. In Costa Rica, we don't have any zoos. All the wildlife is wild, so we can never guarantee. But of course, a lot of things you do have very high chances. Our friend right here in the top middle, that's the sloth. Everybody's loving sloths these days. That one I can almost guarantee. We have 2 different species of sloths, and if you just learn to look for a fur ball in the tree, you're probably going to find one. We have over 205 different species of mammals, including 4 types of monkeys, 7 types of wildcats, our 2 sloths, many amphibians, reptiles.
We got more birds than in Canada and United States combined. Costa Rica,
over 900.
About 920 different kind of species. I don't have the exactly number because they can change every day. We don't know if there's a new species, or there is another species. Guys, we got of 7 turtles that we have in the world, 5 come to Costa Rica.
These are some of my favorite creatures. I'm a bit of a water person. And so like Leo mentioned about the turtles, it's important to mention as well in Tortuguero National Park on the northeastern corner of Costa Rica, that is considered ground zero for all turtle conservation in the world. So that's where turtle conservation started, where it began. And they're really doing great things there. So you should definitely visit Tortuguero National Park if you're interested in seeing turtles nesting or hatching. Also, some other great sort of phenomenons that happen in Costa Rica. We mentioned Isla del Coco. as being one of the 6 or 7 top spots for divers in the world. Between June and September, a current comes through there that brings a lot of plankton. Who loves plankton? That's when we're going to be getting lots of the big whale sharks, huge manta rays, and schools. Yes, schools of hammerhead sharks. So that is some excellent diving there. You might see as well, underneath the whale shark, we have another whale. That's our humpback whale. We get them here in the warm waters of Costa Rica. The mamas come to give birth and start to raise their calf in our waters 9 months of the year. So when you take a whale watching experience here in Costa Rica, you're looking for mom and baby. It's really, I'm getting goosebumps already because it's really, it's an amazing experience to witness that.
Just the mom and the kid playing around. It's really good. And we got it from the south and the north, right?
Yes, that's why we have them 9 months of the year. So another place we can't forget to mention is just briefly the highlands.
Cloud Forest, guys, this is the ground zero for the zip line, the canopy tour. This is where the people invite the canopy tour as an adventure. So definitely, if you're a adventure person, if you're looking for wild activities, zip line Monteverde is one of the spots. We got zip lines all around the place. But if you're looking for the original one, the one to start will be Monteverde. Also, is maybe at a cloud forest. Remember, a cloud forest is a specific forest that doesn't grow in anywhere in the
not just anywhere. It has to be in a specific altitude, a specific microclimate. And we have Monteverde cloud forest here among a few other pockets of places. But Monteverde is actually a world-renowned biological reserve. And where if you're a bird lover, a bird watcher, or a bird listener, then you're gonna definitely want to make sure that you're gonna get to the cloud forest while you're in Costa Rica. You can find the bellbird, the quetzal, and many hummingbirds. It's really a paradise for you bird lovers. Well,
who's ready for a margarita?
Here in Costa Rica, we left this right to the very end, a little bit on purpose, because we really wanted you to know in Costa Rica that we have so much more than just the beach. Although our beaches are incredible, the New York Times has named one of our beaches, Manuel Antonio National Park, as one of the top 10 in the world. So the idea is after you visit the volcano and the rainforest, then you can relax for a few days on the beach.
Remember, in the Pacific, we got about over 1,016 kilometers of Pacific coastline. So guys, there is a spot that we can drive for 30 minutes and we can be in 8 different beaches or even more, depends on the spot. So that's really, really nice in case you guys just want to hang out, visit beaches.
Visiting different beaches, there's plenty. White sand, black sand, volcanic sand, seashell beaches, tranquil bays where you can just relax and look back at the rainforest and see a scarlet macaw flying overhead. Or another place where you can do surfing. Costa Rica is also very famous for their surfers.
We were the championship in the 2015, and we've been hosting the World Surfing League twice already. Guys, and the good things about Big Costa Rica and this position is the water is warm all year long. So you're gonna find good warm water all year long.
So you just dipped your toes in the Pacific. Maybe that was at the beginning of your trip, and now you're at the end of your trip, dipping your toes in the Atlantic or the Caribbean Sea as well. So just a few pictures of the other side so you can really get excited and to come on down to Costa Rica. Now you might be wondering, when you're here, how are you going to get around? You know that Travel and Relax organize something for you, but what is it? How are you getting there? And you have a few different options, something for every budget here. You can do shared shuttles that will pick you up from your hotel or your accommodation and along with some other people and drop you off in the next destination. Safe, convenient way to travel. Usually, and everything is air conditioned nowadays, and a lot of vehicles even have Wi-Fi, so very comfortable. If you would like a self-drive itinerary, you can rent a car. Travel and Relax will help you out to do that. And here it's very exciting. We have electric car nows for hire in an electric route, so you can charge along the way. That's very important. You also might find yourself on a boat or on an airplane. Remember, going to Tortuguero National Park, there's no roads. You can only arrive by boat or by plane. So also, if you want to have perhaps a little bit of a shorter travel day, if you have a long distance or you just want some really amazing bird's eye views, then you need to get at least one domestic flight into your travel itinerary. Lastly, we're just going to touch a little bit, where can you stay? Where are you going to rest your head at night after you've been zip lining and bird watching and doing all these crazy activities? You're going to be able to rest very well in Costa Rica. Again, we have a wide variety of accommodations, something for every budget. And also for the people who like a little bit of oomph in their travel. Travel and Leisure magazine has named Costa Rica, one of our properties, as the #1 spot on their list for best hotels. And we actually have 6 out of 10 of those spots on that list are in Costa Rica. So you can find really unique and interesting properties here. I just put some photos to give you an idea of the unique and interesting places that you can stay. We have some large all-inclusive resorts, and we have a lot of beautiful boutique hotels and unique properties. If you enjoy a unique property, then that can also be an exciting part of your holiday as well.
Yeah.
So lastly here, as we wrap up our first tour around Costa Rica, you might have noticed we gave you a lot of general information. This is actually going to be part of a series. We're going to be coming back to show you a little bit more in depth of the different areas that you can go in Costa Rica, really zoning in on different places that you can go. So make sure that you're going to come back and join us. So you're going to have a long time to think and get inspired while we're in this pandemic. I know nobody wants to talk about it. We were just pretending it wasn't existing for a little while there. But for those of you who want to travel a little bit more sooner rather than later, that's completely up to you. What we want you to know that Costa Rica has opened up its borders for some particular places. We've been open to Canada, Europe, and the UK for a little while now. Slowly we opened up to the US, few states here, a few states there. But the good news is, as of November 1st, anybody from the United States, it doesn't matter which state you're from, you're allowed to come on down to Costa Rica. Also, to clear up your worries, you do not need to quarantine when you get here. Why? Because you're going to need to get a negative COVID test result before you come. Up on the screen, if you can see the tiny print there, it does say 48 hours, but the new requirement now is 72 hours, making it much easier for you to go and get that test before you come to Costa Rica. After that, you just need to get adequate travel insurance, fill out a form online, and when you get here, of course, it's going to be required for the near future, as far as we can see, wearing your mask, physical distancing, and following all the protocols. A lot of the businesses here as well, it's important to mention all the businesses, that are allowed to be remaining open. They have very high sanitation and COVID-19 protocols that they'll be following. So everybody's going to be doing the best they can to keep you safe. And when you get here, you just hold up your end of the deal with the mask, your alcohol gel, washing your hands, physical distancing, and you can still enjoy the paradise in Costa Rica. If that overwhelms you, Travel and Relax will help you out when the time is right.
Guys, and just to a quick remind, every sector in the area has its own protocols. For example, the driver of the microbus, he has his own protocols. Us as a tour operator, we have our own protocols. So everybody has his own protocols to see if everybody is.
Make sure everybody is safe.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but Costa Rica was I think it's one of the first leagues to start in football. I think you guys know us as a soccer.
Yeah, we opened up again.
Around 3 months ago, and a lot of leagues around the world, they start asking us like, "Hey guys, how you doing? Can you send us the protocol? Can you send us this?" So to give you an idea, guys, we try to step a little bit forward.
Trying to lead the way.
Trying to lead the way.
Well, we hope that that was informative and inspiring for you guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Travel and Relax for hosting this great event. And Pura Vida.
Pura Vida.
First of all, round of applause. That was an amazing tour. Thank you so much for taking us on that journey. That was breathtaking. We have a lot of comments that we actually I have some questions from Carol that I wanted to have you guys answer is what is the COVID positivity rate in Costa Rica now? And are all the tourist activities and restaurants and such open?
So good question. Thank you very much. The numbers, to be honest here, they are still rising. And so those dates are that data. So it's hard to give you the exact number, but to answer your question about the tourist activities that will be affecting you upon your arrival, those are, as of recently, allowed to be open again. Again, they all have their own protocols. There's capacity regulations that have to be met. There's a lot of things go. Here we have what we call a social bubble. I think you might have the same sort of protocols where you are. So when you arrive to Costa Rica with your travel group, they will become your social bubble, and you'll be allowed to complete activities or go on shuttles in those bubbles. So everything is going to be kept to capacity, and then of course following all the sanitation protocols along the way. Restaurants as well, all those things that you guys are looking to do when you come here, you will find the majority of businesses open.
And I think we passed already now there is no places where we got like an orange alert or red alert. The country now we're almost in the green and in yellow alert in only a specific spot, but mostly now there is
the numbers are rising as they are in the most places that are still struggling. But a lot of good measures are being taken, and the businesses are under very strict protocols.
Great, thank you so much for your answer. Does that help you, Carol? Okay, yes, thank you, Allie and Leo, Lisa and Rob. Okay, perfect. We did also receive earlier, as you guys were talking about food, people were in love with the pineapple. Said pineapple is delicious. Everything looked yummy on there. Also, real sugar cane, and the coffee sounds great. So for our coffee lovers out there, obviously it sounds like the Costa Rica coffee is where it's at.
Those people who love the food, you'll have to make sure that you tell Travel and Relax that you're a foodie. And that you might want to do a cooking class and have the coffee tour experience. Make sure that you get those involved, included on your itinerary.
That's awesome.
We can teach you how to cook rice and beans too.
That's awesome. That's what we need. We need to learn how to cook rice and beans. That's where we're going. Oh man, were there any other questions that needed to be answered? Well, we have a couple of people that cannot wait to go down to Costa Rica. They loved your presentation. Again, thank you so much for your time. And Rob, if you want to say a couple of words, and we'll end our call.
Great, thank you very much. And Leo and Allie, thank you very much for the excellent tour. It was a great presentation. Continue to learn information as you were speaking. So I do want to thank you for having presented that presentation tonight. For those who are interested in touring with us, our next tour will be on December the 2nd, when we will actually be going the opposite direction, and we will present to you a tour of Anchorage, Alaska. Registration will be on our events page at the travelandrelax.com website soon. While you're on our website, we also invite you to check out our event page archives, where you can find replays of the past tour destinations we have presented, which are Jamaica and Mexico are up there at the moment. And should you have any follow-up questions on Costa Rica or have any other travel-related questions that we can assist you with, or if we can assist you when you're ready with any of your travel needs in any way, please do let us know and we would be more than happy to assist you. Again, we appreciate very much you joining us tonight and thank you for attending.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
Bye-bye.